obviously the two big dogs in the race right now. Trump's leading nationally, Cruz and Trump in a dead heat in Iowa. Everyone else sort of watching this and trying to get attention in this race. Trump was up at early in the morning yesterday, I get maybe cranking the sunrise, so he can take credit for that. And he's out on Twitter going after Ted Cruz again. Yeah. And he got a quick response from a very influential voice in the conservative movement, radio talk show host Mark Levin, who will be in the chair tomorrow. It'll be very interesting to see when Monday dawns what they say on talk radio. But Mark Levin telling Donald Trump on Twitter, you can, Sunday morning, I'm not going to say it, but you can finish it in, essentially saying Donald Trump risks losing conservative support. He says, save the liberal New York City bully tactics for the New York City liberals. You're not politically invincible, regardless of the polls and the media. This is a fascinating divide within conservatives, some of whom like Trump, some of whom like the fact that he kicks their establishment all the time, but whenever he gets really tight after Cruz, they'd say, watch it, mister.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting because despite what Mark Levin says, I do think that some of Trump's birther attacks have had an impact on Cruz. And as nauseating as it was for so many conservatives to see Cruz cozy up to Trump, I think that his timing, the timing of his friendship with Trump and of his distancing from Trump, he essentially waited for Trump to step in it on this birther issue to distance himself, has really shown that Cruz is an incredibly shrewd political strategist. And despite what many Democrats think about his weaknesses in a general election, has shown just how strong he might be, particularly as Hillary Clinton looks weak in her matchup against Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, and I think the matchup between Ted Cruz and Donald Trump, we've seen people go at Donald Trump from positions of weakness, whether it was Rick Perry, Bobby Jindal, Jeb Bush, obviously trying to punch up. And then you saw Ted Cruz there very much going toe-to-toe with Donald Trump on that debate stage, standing right next to him and going from a position of strength. His people certainly think this is good for them. They think maybe they lost the moment with that New York comeback that Donald Trump had in the debate. But in the long term, when you're thinking about flyover country, when you're thinking about Iowa, when you're thinking about South Carolina, that New York attack actually works and it's just part of this larger argument that Donald Trump is a fake conservative.
Several weeks ago when Mark Levin and Rush went after Trump, he did back off a little bit. They said don't mess with Ted Cruz. But my calculation here is that Trump has made his choice now. The clock is ticking. Iowa votes in 2 weeks. I think he looks to his right and sees, to your point, a very shrewd, a very strong Ted Cruz. He looks to his left and he sees Rubio, Bush, Kasich, Christie, and thinks those guys aren't as strong. Twice, first on Morning Joe, and then in an interview you will see at the top of the hour right here on State of the Union, Donald Trump calls Ted Cruz strident and then says it again. The right knows what he's saying. That is an establishment Republican saying wingnut.
Yeah. Well, right, and one of the interesting things that's happened as Ted Cruz has risen, you've seen establishment Republicans be like, okay, Trump's fine, I guess. Because they so don't like Ted Cruz that Trump ends up being their choice. I mean, down is up, left is right. I mean, it really is.
That's a fascinating calculation, though. Many in the establishment, if you talk to the strategist types, they don't like Cruz or Trump. The strategist types say we'd rather have Cruz because even though we think he's to the right, we think he'd have a huge he's predictable. Yeah. And we can plan a campaign because he's predictable. But the money guys, they so don't like Cruz, or the elected guys so don't like Cruz, they're looking at Trump. It's wild.
You also look at the down ticket implications for a Ted Cruz or a Donald Trump. And, you know, I think the unpredictability worries people about Trump saying something in October that just annihilates the rest of the slate.